I never thought I'd be the type of man to put something like this out in the open. But when the person you trust most turns your dignity into a joke for an audience, something inside you changes. Her name was Leah. We met about 2 years ago through mutual friends. She had this loud, attention-grabbing personality, always talking over the room, always the boldest voice in any group. Strangely, that wild energy pulled me in. She moved like every space belonged to her, and I was a calm presence that kept her grounded. I'm not someone who likes the spotlight. I'm not flashy. I don't boast. I work hard, stay to myself, and keep my private life private. Leah was the exact opposite. She cared obsessively about looks, people's clothes, their weight, who was gaining, who was losing. At first, it felt like harmless gossip, but eventually I realized that tearing others down was how she kept herself feeling superior. One weekend, her friend Mia threw a small get-together. Nothing crazy, just wine, soft music, and the same college crowd Leah had always run with. We ended up in a circle playing an adult twist on Truth or Dare. Then Mia asked, "What's one thing you'd change about your partner?" Leah didn't pause, not even for a breath. She smirked, took a slow sip of wine, and said, "Honestly, I wouldn't mind if he was better equipped. You get what I'm saying?" She laughed like she was on stage delivering a comedy set. I froze. The room reacted with this awkward mix of forced chuckles and uncomfortable silence. Some people looked down. Some looked shocked. I tried to act like it didn't cut into me, but she wasn't finished. She added, "He tries his best, but it's like showing up to a war with a butter knife." That one sentence followed me for weeks. I didn't argue. I didn't get angry. I forced a laugh and pretended I wasn't embarrassed. But something inside me snapped, not because of what she said, but because she treated me like a prop for her entertainment. From that moment, I shifted. I stopped texting first. I stopped planning dates. I became quiet around her. She kept asking why I was being dramatic and saying it was just a joke. She thought I was pulling away, but the truth was I was rebuilding myself. I started hitting the gym, not for her, but to reconnect with my own confidence. I accepted a job offer on the other side of the country and kept it to myself. I reached out to old friends. I began therapy. Slowly, I felt myself return, my identity, my strength, the version of me she'd chipped away at. Then the moment came that she never saw coming. A few weeks later, another friend hosted a birthday dinner. I arrived alone, clean, composed, scented. Leah was already there with the same group who had heard her little jokes. She tried pretending she didn't notice the shift in me, but everyone else did. Someone asked how life was. I answered simply, "I accepted a job in Seattle. I move next week." No dramatic tone, no bragging, just truth. Leah's face fell instantly. "Without even telling me?" she asked, stunned. I looked at her calmly and said, "I assumed you were too busy turning me into a punchline to talk about anything real." The whole room went silent, heavy, uncomfortable silence. I stood up, met her eyes with a steady look she couldn't laugh off, and left. No yelling, no insults, just quiet finality. That was the closure she never expected. Later that night she called nonstop, texts, missed calls, even crying in a voice message. I didn't answer, not out of hatred, but because she no longer had a place in the life I was building. When someone uses your self-esteem as entertainment, you don't give them another opportunity to hurt you. Now I'm living in a new city surrounded by people who treat me with respect, not mockery. Leah stayed back home, probably still running her mouth to hide the emptiness she feels. And that's the irony. She tried to make herself look powerful by humiliating me, but the moment I walked away, she realized I was the only person who truly cared about her. Now she's the one standing alone. And she's the one who did it to herself. Please help me reach 1,000 subscribers.